to just get to come on here and talk to you about my best tool, my number one tool to jumpstart your singing in 2025. Because let's face it, it's the start of a new year. I know you're full of energy and ideas, and right now you're super excited about all the things that you're going to learn in 2025. And so for the next few weeks, my Pro Singer Success Collective videos on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG are going to be focusing on the tools that you need to set yourself up to come out of the gate like really strong and jumpstart what you want to do with your voice and your singing career this year. Because you do have all these ideas. You do have lots of energy. It is the start of a new year. And there's so many things that you are excited about to achieve the success that you want in your singing in 2025. And then what happens is the fear starts to set in. And that little voice starts naysaying you about all of the reasons that you can't do XYZ or you shouldn't do ABC, which it can create inertia, right? You guys know the idea of inertia, right? It's like a push and pull. You want, but you resist. You want, but you resist. And that inertia is really paralyzing, and it is something that can and will stop you if you don't get ahead of this. And this voice of the fear, just know, number one, it is not the voice of your truth or of your empowerment, but boy, can it get in there, and it is just really good at creating excuses that in the end prevent you from forward motion towards the goals that you have for your voice and your singing career. So today I want to talk about the first thing that you need to do to get moving, and it is this. Stop making excuses for why you are not where you want to be. So you guys, excuses, what they do is they point a finger. They point a finger. But see, when you are pointing one finger at you outwards, something that's this fault, this is the reason, right? There's 4 other fingers pointing right back at yourself. You guys have maybe heard that little aphorism before, right? And so when you're making excuses, you are not empowered to take action. And that is the insidious thing about excuses, which is they prevent you from taking powerful action. And you're only going to get where you want to go with your voice, with your technique, with the opportunities that you want in your singing when you take inspired action. So that is why the very first thing to do is do not go into 2025 without any more excuses. Okay. If you are not happy with the level that your singing is at or the level that your singing career is at, then stop making excuses for why you are where you are and do something about it. So today, I want to look at the 2 most common excuses that are sure to paralyze you if you buy into them, and we're just going to annihilate them right here. And so as I'm talking about these 2 excuses, if you recognize yourself in this, if you have heard yourself make this excuse, and if you have heard these words either coming out of your mouth or thoughts in your head, I want to know in the chat. I want you to just out yourself in the chat, because that's the first most powerful thing about annihilating excuses is shedding light on them and owning, yep, I do that. Okay. So the first excuse that I hear all the time is, I don't have money. I don't have the money. I don't have the money to hire a professional producer. I don't have the money to get studio time. I don't have the money to make pro recordings, to travel to auditions, or work with an expert teacher on a regular basis, or do the training program that I know I need to do, right? How many of you feel, and be really honest here, if you're watching live or if you're watching in the replay, you know I come back and engage. How many of you feel like you would be so much further along or so much more successful if you just had the money to invest in yourself? Who relates? Tell me in the chat. Let me see a show of hands in the comments. Do you relate? Is this you? Yeah. Like, if I only had money to take lessons regularly or pay for studio time or hire that great producer, then I'd be where I want to go. Whatever it is, guys, here's the thing about excuses. I don't care if you have the excuse that you don't have the money right now, because at the end of the day, it really is just an excuse. And I'll tell you why in a second. What I really want to know is, are you sick and tired of being where you are with your voice and your singing career? And are you ready to get where you want to go? Because if you are, and that's really true, then there's always a way for the committed. I have seen it time and time again with singers who are truly committed. It is never about resources. It is always about resourcefulness. And so if you're committed enough to get resourceful, then you will find a way to do the things that you need to do to move your singing and your singing career to the level that you want. I don't have the money. It's just an excuse that's run by your fear. And I get it. I understand. Oh, Arden, you can't get blood from a stone. I get it. I'm not talking about the amount of money that you have in your bank account. I'm talking about, what if I get resourceful and I really put the pedal to the metal and I find the money and I invest myself and it doesn't work out? That's the fear that is running the, well, I don't have any money, so I'm just going to stay where I am. And it's the fault of the economy. It's the fault of my parents. It's all the excuses, right? But that is not an excuse. You can go get resourceful. I will invite you to borrow a belief of mine, which is, it's just money. I can go out and make more. I can go out and find more. That is my belief. And it serves me because when I need investment, that belief serves me to go and find it. So I don't have the money is just an excuse run by your fear. And it's a very real and very common fear. And that is why I always talk about taking inspired action when it comes to your singing. Spending money on just any action to feel like you're moving forward, it's not going to get you where you want to go. But if you want to be a great singer and a great performer, and if you want to have any chance at all at being world-class, making an impact, then you've got to invest in yourself in an inspired and aligned way. That's how you give yourself the best possible shot. Don't invest willy-nilly. Do your research and your due diligence into who you're going to work with, whether it's a teacher, a producer, someone to direct your music video, a training program, whatever it is. Search out the best programs, the best collaborators, the best people, the best things that feel the most aligned to you, and research, reviews, talk to people, and if those things are the most aligned for you in terms of your vision, then do whatever you have to do to work with them. That's resourcefulness. That's where resourcefulness comes in my experience. And look, guys, this is just one of those things. It's like, take what you like, leave the rest. But in my experience, I don't have the money. It's just an excuse for people who are often not as committed as maybe they would like to think they are. Or maybe they are committed, but they're scared shitless, pardon me, to get resourceful. Because what if I get resourceful and find the money and I invest in myself and it doesn't work? And it's true. You can get resourceful and put yourself out there, and you still may not succeed in the way that you want at first. There are no guarantees in this business except for one. And this is what I can guarantee, that if you don't get resourceful and you don't invest in the things that you need to move the needle, you will stay right where you are. And you will never have the voice that you want. You will never have the ability to land the opportunities that you want. That I can 100% guarantee. So no more excuses. I don't have the money is not an excuse. Go get resourceful. I had a singer. He was, oh gosh, this was like 6 years ago now. And he had just graduated college. And he had student loans, he had student debt he had to pay off. He was not rolling in money. He was not, he was like most of us out there, right? And he also knew that he wanted to make a life singing. He did not want to have a day job, a corporate job, a desk job. But he also knew that the recordings that he was making and the auditions that he was going on were not getting him the results that he wanted. They were not getting him to that next level. And he knew that if he did not if he could not figure out how to do that, how to bring forth that potential and tap that potential and learn how to stand out from the competition every single time, that he was going to be miserable because he would have to go and tuck his tail between his legs and get some kind of job that he hated, a corporate job, a desk job, whatever. Okay. But when he came out of college, he was not rolling in money. He had debt. He had to get resourceful. And this kid, 22 years old, this kid had such a powerful why running the show here. He had 2 restaurant jobs. One of them didn't pay very much. One of them was at a more expensive restaurant. So then he learned, oh, I can do the same job and get better tips here. So I'm just going to get another restaurant job that pays better tips over here. He got resourceful. He did that. He went through all of his, he went through his parents' basement where all his stuff was from college. He went through his attic, his closets. He found a bunch of stuff that he could sell on Craigslist, on eBay, right? He put it all together and he was able to fund the training that then allowed him to actually go out there, make his recordings, and he won a huge competition and he got an artist development deal. Okay, so this is none of that would have happened had he not decided to get resourceful. None of that would have happened if he continued to engage with the excuse of, it's too expensive, I don't have any money. Yeah, he didn't have any money, but it didn't matter. What he had was commitment and resourcefulness. And now he's got a fantastic career and he hasn't had to have the day job, the desk job, the corporate job. And you guys, I get it, okay? It's tough, but the more we engage with these excuses, the longer it takes us to get the help that we need to work with the people that are going to change the needle for us, producers, music video directors, whatever it is, right? And the harder it becomes to take inspired action, the longer we let this go. So that's the first excuse, most common excuse. I don't have the money. Second excuse I hear all the time, which is, the rationalization of why you are where you are, is the music industry is corrupt, totally rigged, has nothing to do with talent. It's only about who you know. It's a boys' club. How many of you have had those thoughts? How many of you have actually said those things out loud? Tell me in the chat. And I get it. It's true. It is a tough industry to break into and be a part of. There are so many artists out there who have so much talent and have been completely beaten down by the industry. And what I also know from my experience from over 20 years of helping singers succeed is there are many, many ways we get in our own way that we are unaware of. And if you follow my content, I talk about this all the time. Traditional training programs and traditional training don't even begin to address these things. And so when singers start to get in touch with all of their ways that they're holding themselves back, their excuses, their limiting beliefs, all those things, and peel back the layers and realize there are ways that they have been thinking and singing that they're not even aware of that have actually been holding them back from blooming regardless of what the industry thinks, then what feels impossible all of a sudden becomes possible. And it has nothing to do with the, in quotes, industry. Connecting to people and making an impact with your voice and your music, it has never been easier to do outside of the industry than it is now. Never in history. Singers I work with are doing it every day. It's really easy to point fingers and blame a corrupt industry, which, by the way, I totally agree with that statement. It is completely dysfunctional in many, many ways. But the huge tragedy and what breaks my heart is when talented singers throw their hands up in the air and blame the dysfunctional, corrupt music industry. Because when they do that, they miss out on a giant opportunity to empower themselves and look at what they could be doing differently that might move the needle on having the voice and career that they want despite the industry. And so they give up. They give up. Because why would a singer ever do all the hard work to get where they want to go if the game is rigged? They won't. And so they give up. And the world misses out on their gift. They miss out on living their passion, their purpose, making a life doing what they love. They live the rest of their life bitter, jaded and resentful because they're not doing what they know they were put on this planet to do, all because they bought into an excuse that prevented them from taking action to get what they really wanted. A corrupt industry, guys, a dysfunctional music business is just not an excuse anymore for not living your dream, because at this point, there are just too many ways to do it outside of the industry. But you need to have a rock solid foundation in your vocal technique, in your artistry, and most importantly, in your ability to impact those who can move the needle for you, audiences, agents, managers in your recordings, and a rock solid mindset in order to do that. But the problem is that most singers, they don't realize where the weak links in their foundation are. And they don't have the right kind of support that they need to address this foundation. And so they feel incredibly alone trying to figure all this out on their own. Have any of you ever felt that way? Like, you know, you have a great voice, you know, you have talent, you've been hustling, you've been putting yourself out there, making recordings, auditioning, whatever, you're not getting the results that you want. And you just feel like an island all on your own, trying to push this massive boulder up a hill. It's really hard. It can feel very lonely. And so that's why I do what I do. No talented singer should have to go one more day feeling like they're doing everything that they know how to do, everything that they can to make this dream happen, and that they're just feeling like they're constantly coming up short. But there is a way out of the stuck, and that's what I'm an expert at. So stop with the excuses and take a look at what you really want, and do whatever you need to do to get there. And if you would like some clarity and some support on what is stopping you from having the sound you want, the life you want, how to get out of the stuck, and on ways to get resourceful, then I encourage you to join our upcoming Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series. So the focus of this masterclass series is master the craft, conquer the industry. It's a 7-day online free masterclass series for pro singers on how to land your next elite singing opportunity, how to stand out from the competition, how to be able to withstand all the inevitable ups and downs that are a part of this, and be able to stand out on another level so that you land the opportunities that other singers are getting that you want, instead of you sitting on the sidelines and watching that, you being the one who knows how to break through. So this masterclass series is 7 days. We start January 21st, and it's 90 minutes a day from January 21st through January 27th. And we're going from 1 o'clock Pacific, which is 4 o'clock Eastern. We're going to start at the same time every day. We're going to do live hands-on coaching. We're going to do breath support. We're going to do resonance work. We're going to talk about mindset, which is essential. Learning how to tap into your own unique sound, your own unique artistry, learning how to get out of your own way when things like fear or compare and despair judgment or stage fright threaten to derail you. Okay, so this is the foundation of jumpstarting your career in 2025. Do not make any decisions about what you want to do with your singing career before you have gone through this masterclass series. You will get so much clarity and so much accountability to your goals, to your technique. We're going to be doing a lot of technique, and I guarantee you, even if you are the most trained singer, you will hear things in the technical part of, when we're working on breath support and resonance, you will hear things that you have not heard before, to be able to take everything you're doing to the next level, so that by this time next year, you're the one who's on that stage. You're the one winning auditions. You're the one whose records people are listening to, because you know how to break through and land those elite opportunities. So this is my number one gift to you today, is stop with the excuses. Come to the masterclass series, set yourself up with the most powerful foundation that you can to start the year. Guys, it's 2025. We are 5 years into the 2020s. Do not waste another year, or God forbid another 5 years, okay? Let's get you moving with a strategy and the support that works. I'm putting the link to be able to register for the masterclass series in the chat. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to type in register. Okay. There we go. Thanks for bearing with me as I type. Okay. And I'm going to post it in the chat of the stream. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's also in the video description. And I'm going to put it over here on Facebook really quickly also for you guys. There you go. Oops. Facebook is telling me something went wrong. That's okay. I'll post it in the comments as soon as I pop off. All right, guys. Sending you so much love and so much resourcefulness and so much commitment for 2025. I want to see every single one of you in the masterclass series. Let's set you up to start 2025 really strong. Bye, everybody.